Good afternoon, students. Am I audible? So, next topic related to your gradually varied flow is your classification of channel beds. Next topic, you write classification of bed slope. Number one is your critical slope. So, in critical slope, we denoted by SC. Critical slope is denoted by SC, and your in this situation, your base slope and critical slope is same, is equal. Okay, and your normal depth you can say is equal to your critical depth. Okay? When your normal depth is equal to your critical depth, or you can say your bed slope is equal to critical slope, you can say that slope is our critical slope. Okay, when your normal depth is equal to critical depth, or you can say normal depth line NDL is nothing but your normal depth line, and CDL is critical depth line coincides. Okay, so we are going to discuss in details, okay, with the diagram. Don't worry. In next topic, we are going to discuss with the help of diagram. Okay, you can just write it down that in critical slope, your base slope and critical slope is same, as well as your normal depth and critical depth is same. We can also say NDL, that is your normal depth line, and CDL, critical depth line, is coincide. Okay, this is your critical slope. Next is your mild slope. So this is when your bed slope is less than your critical slope. Okay, to find out the bed slope, and if it is less than critical slope, then we can say the slope is mild. Okay, we can say this critical slope, that is your SB less than SC, that is your bed slope less than critical slope, then you can say the slope is mild. Okay, so application of Say's or Manning's equation indicates that in mild slope your normal depth is greater than your critical depth. Okay, then your steep slope. Okay, so first one is your critical slope, second one is your mild slope, third one is your steep slope. So it's reverse than your this mild slope. Okay, in mild slope your base slope is less than critical slope, and in steep slope your base slope is greater than critical slope. So it's reverse. Okay, and your yn, that is your normal depth, is less than yc. Okay, so in critical slope both the slope is same, that is base slope and critical slope. Okay, in critical slope your SB is equal to SC. Okay, in mild slope your SB is less than SC, and in steep slope your base slope, that is your SB, is greater than your critical slope. Okay, so you kindly write down this three. then we are going to proceed again. We have horizontal slope. Okay. First, you write down this three. Okay, one is critical slope, second one is mild slope, and third one is steep slope. In first case, your bed slope is equal to critical slope. In second case, that is in a mild slope, your bed slope is less than critical slope. In steep slope, your bed slope is greater than critical slope. Okay. And in first case, your normal depth is equal to critical depth. In second case, your normal depth is greater than critical depth. And in third case, your normal depth is less than YC, that is your critical depth. Okay. Done. Okay. We have another two. One is your horizontal and one is your adverse slope. Okay. The horizontal slope, your SV equal to 0. Okay. The horizontal slope, your rate of slope is equal to 0. Okay. And in adverse slope, your base slope is less than 0. That is in negative. Okay. So when your base slope is 0, then we can say that the slope is horizontal slope. Okay. And if it is in negative, your base slope, then we can say it's a adverse slope. So basically, we have these five types of slope. One is your critical, second is mild, then steep, then horizontal, and the last one is adverse. Okay. So in critical slope, your critical depth, sorry, your bed slope and critical slope is same, and you can say your normal depth and critical depth is same, or you can say it's coincide. Okay. In mild slope, your bed slope is less than critical slope, and your normal depth is greater than your critical depth in mild slope. Okay. In steep slope, it's reverse of mild. Okay. So in steep slope, your bed slope is greater than your critical slope, and your normal depth is less than your YC. Okay. In horizontal slope, your bed slope is equal to 0, and your normal depth is infinity. Okay. And in adverse, your bed slope is in negative or it's less than 0. So these are the five different types of slope in gradually varied flow. Okay. So next you can write classification of surface profiles. Classification of surface profiles. So you can see here that is water surface profiles occurring in different slopes are designated by the name of the slopes. Okay, the profile that occurs in the mild slope is called M profile. Okay, so if it is in a mild slope, and that profile is called M profile. So M for mild. Okay. Similarly, profiles are named as C profiles, S profiles, A profiles, H profiles occurring in C is for critical. So the profiles occurred in critical slope is called C profiles. If it is in steep slope, then it is called S profiles. If it is in adverse, then it's called A profiles. And similarly for horizontal slope, it's called H profiles. Okay, respectively. Again, if you say M profile, C profile, and S profile, A profile, and H profiles are further classification based on zones. Okay, above the channel bottom in which they occur. Okay, we have three zones basically: zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So based on that zone, in which zone that profile is there, based on that we are again rename those profiles. Okay, like M1, M2, M3, C1, C2, C3, S1, S2, S3, and so on. Okay, depending on which zone the profile is occur, we classify again. Okay. Yeah. So you can see for a given discharge, channel section and roughness coefficient normal depth yn and critical depth yc may be obtained. Okay, definitely using your Manning's equation, we can obtain all these parameters. Okay, thus your NDL, that is your normal depth line, and critical depth line divide the portion above the channel bottom into three zones, except for adverse and horizontal slopes. Okay, so apart from adverse and horizontal slopes, in other slopes, that is your critical, mild, and steep. Okay, these two line divides the whole area into three zones. You can move on to figure 6.2. Okay, okay. So you can see in the first figure, mild slope. Okay, for mild slope, we all know that bed slope is less than your critical slope. Okay, and your normal depth will be greater than YC. Okay, so this is your bed of the channel. This is your bed of the channel. Okay, then we have critical depth line. Then we have normal depth line. Why we put normal depth line above critical depth line? Because here the slope is less than your critical slope, and we have already said your yn is greater than yc for your mild slope. Okay, whatever we have studied in previous section. Okay, so that is why yn is greater than yc, okay, for mild slope. Similarly, for steep slope, your sb is greater than yc and your yn is less than yc. Okay, reverse than what we have studied in mild slope. Okay, so that is why your normal depth is here, and critical depth line is above the normal depth line for your steep slope. Okay, so each that NDL and CDL divides the whole section into three zones: zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. Depending on the zone, suppose this is your mild slope, then the profile in the mild slope will be M profile. Okay, M profile. Okay, so if it is in zone 1, then it will be M1. If it is in zone 2, then the profile will be mild only for M2 zone. Okay, or if it is in M3, then sorry, in zone 3, then it will be M3. And similarly here also, for steep slope we will be having S1, then S2, and the last one is S3. Okay, depending on which zone this profile is occur, we again classify this profile into S1, S2, or S3 similarly. Okay, okay. So in critical depth, in critical slope, if you remember, we said that your base slope and your critical slope is same, and your yn and yc will be coincide. So that is why if you see here in critical slope, we'll be having only zone 1 and zone 3. That is your CDL and NDL is coincide. Okay, so we'll be having zone 1 from bottom to CDL, or NDL is zone 3, and then CDL and NDL, the space between your normal depth line and CDL line is our zone 2, which is not here. Okay, as both the line is coincide, so that is why we'll be having only zone 1 and zone 3. So if we come for C profile, that is a critical slope profile, we'll be having only C1 and C3. And similarly for adverse, we'll be having only zone 2 and zone 3. Okay, and for your horizontal also we'll be having only zone 2 and zone 3. Okay, here you can write down this line: the zone between the bed and the line NDL or CDL is zone 3. In between these two lines is zone 2, and the zone above these lines, if exists, is zone 1. Okay, only it's written. Mild slope, see, mild slope key profiles are there in M1 in zone 1, M2 in zone 2, and M3 in zone 3. Similarly, for steep slope also, it's S1 in zone 1, S2, and similarly, okay, for S3 for zone 3. Okay. So if you want to see those profiles, you can move on to figure number 3, 6.3. Okay, you can see here, if you have a profile in zone 2, it will be M2 profile. Okay, if you have here, it will be M3 profile. Okay, and here will be M1 profile. So it's depending on the profile in which zone they occur. Okay. So this diagram you can draw later on also when I give you this PDF file. Okay. Okay. So you can see here occurrence of M1 profiles in different situations. So this type of situations we have already discussed for gradually varied flow. If you see in the first figure, the flow is flowing, and we have substitute one obstruction, or you can say dam, or any wire, or any barrage. Okay, then our flow water will be gradually increasing, that we have already discussed. Okay, and your slope will be mild in upstream, definitely. If downstream, our slope will be maximum, or you can say steep. Okay, so in upstream, our slope will be mild, so your SB equal to, sorry, less than SC. Okay, normal depth will be greater than your YC. Okay, so definitely your profile is gradually increasing, so it is in zone 1. So you can say that M profile is in zone 1. That is why we have written M1 profile. Okay, here also, if we use sluice gate also, once this is zone 1, this is zone 2, this is zone 3. In upstream, it will be M1 because it will be gradually increasing. And if we open, then there will be a, you can say, hydraulic jump where it starts from zone 3. Okay, then it will increase. Okay, so that profile here it will be M3. We can write down the next topic. There's different methods for computation of gradually varied flow. Different methods of computation of gradually varied flow. Number one is direct step method. You can write down the steps method. Okay. Number two is modified or standard step method. Number three is graphical integration method. Number four, integration with the help of varied function. And number five is numerical integration method. And then for numerical integration method, we have number of option, which one you want to use. I think some of them are is very familiar to you. You have already studied in mathematics, okay? Like trapezoidal integration method, Rangakuta, modified Euler's, okay? Predictor and corrector. Those things I think you have already studied in mathematics, okay? So here we use one or two methods to solve some numerical, or you can just write down these methods. Okay, we are not going to discuss in details as it's not in your syllabus, so we use one or two methods just to solve few numericals. Okay, but you can write down the methods, all the methods which are available for gradually varied flow. Done. Okay, so we are going to end today's class here. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to solve numericals related to our Crazily varied flow. Okay. I think tomorrow we have two class. So I think we can complete this chapter by tomorrow. Okay. So we are going to continue with some numericals related to Crazily varied flow tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, students.